Okay, so in this video we'll cover posts and pages. So posts and pages are essentially the same thing. The only difference being that posts are articles that appear on your news or blog page, and the difference that makes a difference for them is that they can be categorized and they are automatically indexed against those categories. Pages are just your meat and potatoes website page, and because they're a little bit simpler, we're going to start with them. So under pages, you can see a list of all of your existing pages. And if you want to edit one of those pages, you can hover over the name and you'll see that there are 4 options: edit, quick edit, trash, or view. The edit is the full editor, but if we click onto quick edit, you can take care of administrative tasks for that page, including making it password protected. So in this case, contact us is fine. We don't want to change the title or the name. We don't need to change any of the other information. If for any reason we want to change the visibility of the page, we can change it depending on review or draft. Or, as mentioned before, give it a password and then nobody will be able to see that page unless they have that password. So, quick example of that. We'll save the password. And now we'll go to visit that page. And when we get there, we see this password protected information. So we put in the password, which was password. And once that's been entered and oh, this is interesting. Okay. So something a little bit funny went there, but on the regular live site that won't happen. That's a glitch because this is a development link. But basically, here's your contact page after the password has been entered. And we'll just go back one more stage, which is back to when we're editing that pages list, and just remove that password now. So that's under the quick editor. Remove the password, update, and now that page is visible to the public without the requirement of a password. Okay, so let's say this is the page that we're editing. We'll click into the editor. And there are 2 ways of editing content in the page. One is using the advanced editor, which is what we use for pages and posts, and the other is the default editor. So if you log in and you click into a page wanting to edit it, and you see this gobbledygook, okay, all you need to do is click this button, the advanced layout editor, and it will return it to our box view advanced editor. So the rule of thumb is simply that if there's an existing page and it's been populated by me, then all you need to do is hover over the section you want to update, click into it, and you'll see that the basic information for the page is present in one of the fields, and then there are several tabs of additional functionality that apply to that single section. So these are all pre-configured to the settings that are that appear across the site, and yeah, I would recommend you don't change anything except the words for the headings. Otherwise, you may be asking me to come and fix stuff up. But yeah, for existing pages, left click. You'll see there's a kind of fairly standard Microsoft Word style editor. You can just go in and make some changes. If you log in and it's in code, then just click between the text and visual editor and make the changes that you want or need. If you're creating a hyperlink, then all you need to do is highlight the word that you want to use as a link, click on this icon here, and it'll give you an option to either put in a URL, or if you go under the settings section, you can search for an existing page. And that will just automatically add the link to an existing page. And that can be for pages, posts, or products. Any of the 3 Ps. Okay, so we'll exit out of that. Now, what to do if we decide that we want to create a new page? Good question. I'm glad you asked. So now we'll go to add a new page, which you can do either on the left-hand side under this menu, add new, otherwise under the new tab at the very top, add a new page. Select that. I don't want to change the, save the changes that we've got. Okay, so this is a brand new page, and you can see that it's not showing us the advanced layout editor, so we'll select that. And the way that these pages are built is very simple. From left to right, we put layout elements onto the page, fill them with content elements, and then supplement them with media elements or any additional functionality with the plugin add-ins. So for most of our pages, we start with a color section at the top, and then for this page, this fictitious page that we're creating, we'll put a 2/3 and then a 1/3 block in. And what these blocks do is just create the background code for a mobile responsive website. So this top section is for our heading, and this is for our content, and this will be for our sidebar. So once your layout elements are in place, click into content elements, and then start applying the content elements that you want. So we're going to put a heading, we'll choose heading 2, which is slightly larger, and the style for headings for most of the pages is a modern style to the left, and I'll save that out. We'll do the same with the page heading. Now just be mindful that page headings are H1 tags, or H1 headings, and that just means that the correct styling will be applied to that, that heading so that your site is consistent. Now we apply white as an overlay color, because for these color sections we're putting a background image in place. And just an FYI, the difference between a color section, which is a 100% width block, and this 100% width block is simply that you can apply a background image to it. So in this section, we're just using this image as the default background, ensuring that it's full size, not any of the smaller content sizes, and then saving it, and we save out of that. Oops, sorry, one more thing. To make the text on that background image stand out a little bit, we're putting a background overlay on it, and what that is just a semi-transparent color, in this case black, and that will just create a little bit more vibrancy in terms of how that white title stands out. So we've got 2 headings. Let's go to the content elements again and put some text in, and this is where you would click in and just add whatever text or information you want on that page. I'll just cover creating a link again. Type the link text that you want, highlight it, click this icon, and then either paste the web address into this section here, or go into settings and choose from your existing pages. Okay, save out of that section. Now we've been saving out of each of these individual sections. That doesn't actually save or publish it to the page. So let's give this page a a title. What that will do is create a unique URL slug, or a permalink as it's called, and we'll cover that in a little bit more detail in a few moments. So once we've got the page the way that we want, we can either save it as a draft up here or publish it. And publishing it will set it to go live. The only thing to keep in mind is that that doesn't mean that it shows up in the navigation. So test page 44, we'll publish it. Now if we view the page, you can see it's certainly not an exciting page, but the heading is consistent with the other pages, and so is the content. One thing just with the heading, if you are creating a new page, just be aware that one of the default settings for this page is that this section appears as 25% of the heading, of the page height. So going back to that page, we'll go back into the editor that you can see up here. And just for consistency, we'll make sure that the height of that section is at least 25% of the browser window height. Okay. So we've created that that page, and now we get to find out what we meant when we were talking about widgets in the previous video. If you haven't watched that, then that's okay. We'll cover some of the information now. But basically, a widget area can get dragged and dropped into the sidebar content section, and we'll choose the sidebar blog widget, update that. We'll open up a new tab to look at the content. And now just do a quick review of widgets. So widgets appear over on the left hand side here under the appearance menu. Click on widgets. You can see our test page 44 has this list, and we update that under the sidebar blog widget area, and the changes that we make here will propagate automatically across any section in any page that we've created that we've applied that widget against. So refresh this page, you'll see that black has been added to the bottom of the list. But if we go into edit this page, all you can see in the editor is that reference to that widget area, sidebar blog. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. Just for your information, this is all development information and data that won't be in your live site. And the other fun thing, now that I've shown you how to create a page template, is that all of your page templates actually exist pre-built, ready to be populated under this templates tab. So if we delete out these sections that we've built, we can actually choose from this template list content standard layout, and that will pre-populate a page ready to go. Then all you need to do is click in and change the information that you want. Okay, so that is the lowdown on pages. Just a very quick overview now on posts. So posts are exactly the same as pages, with the very important distinction that they can be categorized. So we've already shown you how to create a page or a post. Let's just go in and I'll just show you that difference that makes a difference, which is that over here on the right hand side is a categories section, and we've added this category to testing and useful information. You can add a new category if you like. You can also add tags which are a way of kind of creating more refined search data. This is more relevant when we start talking about products. Okay, so that category information is just important because if we preview the page, you'll see that there is the opportunity to get to other information that is important and relevant. What have we got? Test page for posts. Oh, okay. So, what we haven't done is add a category menu to the sidebar for posts. So let's do that now. Over here under widgets, we've got sidebar pages, that's not right. Something interesting happening here. But for the moment, let's just put the sidebar blog into the mix. Save that and just go back to the posts page. Okay. Okay, I see what's happening here. So by default, we've set the pages to have a sidebar, so we don't actually need to build the sidebar into it. So going back to this post, what that simply means is that we don't need that section. We can make the content section full width, and if we update that, then that will get rid of the that double up with those two sections. So now our sidebar only appears on the right-hand side. Great. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't more confusing than it was instructive. But that's basically all the information we need to cover for pages and posts. And next video we'll cover products.